We're talking about Ghost in the Shell, the original movie. If this is your first time watching this, don't be fooled to think, oh look, this movie is just copying all these other movies, because it isn't. A bunch of movies are cherry-picked from this. Looking at you, Matrix. Looking at you. If you're talking to anybody who knows anything about anime, they better know what Ghost in the Shell is. This is a pivotal anime. You have to watch this by the, you could argue, great Masamune Shirow. The unfortunate thing about Masamune Shirow is if you type his name into your Google search, this happens. Masamune Shirow is totally a guilty pleasure of mine now, just because of his career choices and how that affects me showing him to other people who don't know who he is. It was cool, edgy, and they were scantily clad, but you know what? Sex sells. And obviously he just went that route with the rest of his career. But I don't fault him for that. I don't fault him for going where the money is. It just makes him harder to show to people you're trying to get interested in some of the things that he actually created. Ghost in the Shell, Appleseed, Dominion, Black Magic, M66. These things are really awesome and are still relevant. If you know what they are, good job. You get a gold star from Dave. Don't misunderstand. It's not like he directed and made the feature. He didn't. He did, however, do the original manga that this is based on. He did do that. Ghost in the Shell and his other series, Dominion Tank Police, happen in the same city. They're the street cops. These guys are the super secret cops. But that's the difference in dramatic feel. Because if you know what Dominion Tank Police is, you know it's kind of silly. It's not the super secret political intrigue, spy, espionage game that Ghost in the Shell is. Because Ghost in the Shell is out spying you like a motherfucker. They can go invisible and shit. Which is one of the coolest things. It's done very well. It's 25 years old. There's going to be some spoilers. And if you don't want me to ruin this, please watch it and then come back. Because seriously, like I said, it's 25 years old. You've had your opportunity. And it's just a movie. You can totally go, watch it, and come right back. You need to be in a very serious, very introspective mood. This isn't, hey, we just got in from an awesome day, let's watch Ghost in the Shell. It's not Ghost in the Shell. It's Ghost in the Shell, motherfucker. So it's the year 2029 in the city of Newport, but it's like more Hong Kong. Political bullshit is happening in a building. Someone talking about political asylum and diplomatic immunity. You know shit is real. In the first 3 minutes of a feature film, man, that's heavy. After horrible political assassination, technically you've already met her at this point, but she is Major Kusanagi, also known as Motoko Kusanagi. The Major. Everyone calls her Major because she's a major. Her thigh highs and hair disappear. Why does she have to be naked? This doesn't make sense. I'm just saying, from a design storytelling point of view, that doesn't make sense. You could have just had her in her clothes. You could have, yeah, absolutely. But as a cyberpunk junkie 14-year-old, thanks for not doing that, because that was awesome. The Major works for Section 9, which is super secret police. Her and her partner, Bato, super badass, super secret, super cops. That's what they are. Their bodies are almost 100% synthetic. They have brain cells, and that qualifies them as cyborgs. The Major has been having, am I a really human? These really deep introspective thoughts the entire movie and questioning herself as a individual. And in this world of man and machine almost being one, what is the line that makes you human and what is the line that makes you not human? It is kind of weird to be walking around and we have the exact body, the exact model, we have that body, and I saw you eating Chinese food, you fucking bitch. You're gonna fatten my ass up, people are gonna think I'm you. Less like pulling up next to somebody with your car, it's more like the girl fight when the two girls are wearing the same dress. That's the look. And if you're one of the people who ships Major and Bato, everybody else does too. The only person who doesn't ship them is the Major, with anybody, ever. Section 9 is called in to investigate the Puppet Master, this world infamous hacker who is responsible for several political assassinations and attempted political assassinations over the course of the past few years. Usually hackers leave traces, especially after they have ghost hacked humans. It's tough shit, random guy. Terrorism. Cyber terrorism at its most extreme. In 1995, most people had AOL if they had anything. The concept of cyber terrorism to us was so ahead of its time and not really what's going on. It's kind of what's going on. Politicians are being horrible, asses are being covered, and heads are rolling. Not necessarily the heads that need to roll, but that's how you play the game. You kind of guess what's going on, but they throw all these other things at you, and you start rethinking your hypothesis, even though your hypothesis is probably right the first time. And what's really going on is another country, America, wrote a program which was a information retrieval and infiltration program. But as it was going through the net, it started gathering enough information to realize what it was, and it became sentient. And turns out, Puppet Master, or Project 2501, wants to do what any guy would do. Become one with her, at least join with her, symbolically. Not really symbolically, like literally. Like, my data is going to merge with your data, and we're going to be new data. Like, that's what he wants, and that's kind of what he gets. She's so curious on if she can be more than she is, that the question of what is she kind of goes away. She goes, I don't really care what I am. I want to be more than what I am, though. The American guy in the limo said it right. Maybe there's a chick at Section 9 he's got the hots for. Because that's what happened. As bleak and as rainy as this future is, it's not totally bad. Look, we still have Mrs. Fields cookies. I don't need to tell you about the animation because it's amazing. The animation looks great. It's not the animation, it's the film quality. Yeah, the film quality looks a little dated. That's to do with the cameras and shit at the time. We didn't care about shit like that in the 90s. It was the fucking 90s. Take in the animation and just watch what transpires because it's really beautiful and really violent. Did you see that fucking tank? She pulled her arms off trying to open it. That's fucking nuts. Besides, holy shit, the music. It resounds in your soul. It doesn't really matter that you don't know what they're saying. If I just walked into somebody's house and this music was playing loudly, I would assume the walls were melting around me and I was being consumed by a witch maze. This isn't exactly twerking music. The voice acting is not that great. In English. The English dub isn't that great. Watch it in Japanese. This is one of those movies where it's kind of true where the sub is better than the dub. There's not a lot of them. The 95 voice actors did a good job. But if you're going to watch it for real, watch it subtitle. If you already know what happens and you don't mind, watch it dubbed. It's okay. I'm sure you've all heard about the live action movie that we're supposed to be getting and how it's Scarlett Johansson is supposed to be Major Kusanagi. I am interested. It's not that I don't have faith in Scarlett Johansson. It's that I don't have faith in Hollywood. Overall, my experience is the best experience because it feels like the very first time you watch it, every time you watch it. You forget how good it is. Yeah, I've seen Ghost in the Shell, and then you watch it and you're like, oh my god, it's Ghost in the Shell. That happens every time. Ghost in the Shell blows your mind. Overall, my official rating and my unofficial rating system, mecha super awesome. You should own this. Get it. Own it. Love it. This is AniView by Dave. I, of course, am Dave. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, put them below and I will get back to you. See you next time, cyberpunk motherfuckers. I'm thinking about getting metal legs. It's a tricky operation, but... And yes, I'm going to tell you this right now. If we had the prosthetic technology that is equal to or better than what is in Ghost in the Shell, I would have wrapped my car around a tree a long time ago. I'm sorry, baby. I'll get a better one. I'll get the one that looks like Brad Pitt, only ginger.